Good morning. We have a member that's looking for help on programming a wind spinner for his plasma cutter. It's in this topic, need help programming wind spinner. It was referenced some older topics where I actually had an expired video from Loom or Twitch on there. So I'm going to just remake it. So the poster has downloaded this one, which is one I posted from somebody else who is needing help maybe 3 years ago. Anyhow, let's open it up. So we'll download it, and then we're going to open it here. Fusion's booting up. Obviously a little slower than I'd like. All right, here we go. So this is the wind spinner project. This isn't a very clean DXF. You can see how many nodes it has. So these aren't nice arcs, they're all faceted. Either way, we should be able to develop CAM from this. So let's move directly into CAM, manufacturing. We'll start with a setup. We'll move our stock box point origin to the upper left. And under post processor, we can put a name in here, hum spin demo. Okay. Now we'll select a cutting tool. Excuse me, I'm going to go into my Fusion library and I'll select a 26 gauge is probably fine. Okay. I'm going to move one box over to geometry. This is the contour selection. So I'm going to go in here and select this line. And sometimes it's hard with these lines. You got to be right on it. You see how that here. You see how that white section is illuminating? Now let's double click that. It's hard to see, but it's brought up this menu when I was zoomed in there. Here, I'll go back again. Make sure you're hitting that line and it's white. Double click. Brings up this chain menu. And then from there, we can get over top of the selection again and double click it and it selects the whole thing. Okay. Then we'll go to the next one. Brings up our 2D profile menu over here. And then make sure that it's highlighted. Sometimes it might lag to select on this one because there's so many nodes. Here, let's try this next one again. So we've selected this open chain 3. I'm going to double click it to bring up this chain menu. And then when I double click it again, I'll just wait a sec. There, and then it comes in. Okay. And we can keep repeating that. See, it's lagging, I think is what's happening. There, selected it. Sometimes that's a little troublesome, but it does work. Now, a better way to go about this would be this way. So we're going to cancel this, and we're going to move back to design. And what I'm going to do here is I'm going to start a new sketch in the XY plane, and I'm going to use P to bring up the project tool. And I'm going to double click all this geometry and select all the open contour single line geometry. Or open chain, there's a few different ways of saying it. Okay, and there's a little bit of open line geometry down here as well. Must be getting close, a little bit more. Alright, let's stand back and take a look. No, no more open line geometry. Oh, one more. Yep, right here. I'm just using my center scroll wheel to zoom in and out. And okay. Just giving it a second to project. You can see how many nodes there are now. This is not a very clean DXF. We're going to finish sketch. Now what we have is a sketch which contains all of our open chains. We're going to go back to manufacturing. In the setup, we're going to go back into cutting. We'll reselect that tool we were using before. And now when we go to contour selection, we're going to go to our browser bar over here. We're going to go into our models list. We're going to go down to our sketches, and in this case we will select sketch 3, and you can see as I went over sketch 3 it highlighted everything. I'm going to zoom out so we can see what's going on. Actually, I'll zoom back in on this menu. So in this menu here, some of the important points we'll go over is we'll go to passes tab. Because of how many nodes we have, we'll reduce the tolerance by 1 magnitude. We'll also select smoothing. And this is the important part, sideways compensation to center, because we're cutting right on top of that line. We don't want to be to the left or right of it. Now we'll go into links. We're going to get rid of lead ins, lead outs, our pierce clearance, and then okay. Let's zoom back out. Should only take a second. It's already developed all that. Perfect. Let's start another tool path here. And this will be all our closed geometry. And yes, we want sideways compensation to the left in this case. We'll just do a little bit of a lead in. I'm not going to get into this too deep. No lead out, no pierce clearance, and hit OK. Good. Now we have one tool path that deals with all our open chain geometry, one tool path that deals with all our closed chain geometry. It's important that that's the last one because you're cutting the outside edge in that case. We're going to look at the whole setup. We'll look at a simulation here and see what it wants to do for cutting. And that is a successful path. We're going to exit the simulation. I am going to save this and repost it to the forum here in a few minutes. Hopefully that works out for you. Thanks.